Hi, it's Kristen here today making a video about wellness and my top picks for the 5 things you can do to take better care of yourself. I'm a licensed professional counselor, a nationally certified counselor, and a certified advanced alcohol and drug counselor. And I think wellness is really important and unfortunately something that gets forgotten about for most of us in the busyness of our lives. So here are my top 5 picks. Some of them might be really obvious ones that we probably already know that we should be doing, and others may be ones that we don't think about as often. My first recommendation is to get plenty of sleep. We should be aiming for 8 hours of sleep a night, and that might sound crazy, especially for those of us who are getting maybe half of that. But sleep, when we are not getting enough sleep, we don't really even fully understand how much it affects us. I could do a whole video on sleep alone, actually. But basically, to break it down simply, it affects our mood. We're more irritable. Obviously, we're going to be more tired. It affects the foods that we crave. We tend to crave more unhealthy foods. It affects our appearance. We tend to, our skin doesn't look as well. We don't look as healthy. And it affects the way we think, our ability to process things, how fast we process them, how well we're able to recall them. And so basically, if you want to look better, feel better, and think better, get plenty of rest. My next tip is a no-brainer, and that's eating better. And that includes drinking plenty of water. And the formula I go by is drinking half of your weight in ounces of water each day. So for example, if you weigh 140 pounds, try drinking 70 ounces of water a day. And we even want to increase that if we're exercising or if, like me, you're pregnant. And then in terms of what we're eating, we want to make sure that we're eating lean proteins, which are going to give our bodies the omega fatty acids that they need, and also a boost of energy, plenty of vegetables and fruits, whole grains, and then we really just want to eliminate fast food, processed food, foods that contain a lot of harmful preservatives, and reducing our sugar and sodium intake as well. And no trans fats if we can help it. Next, I want to talk about managing our stress level. There's 2 kinds of stress. There's positive and negative stress. Positive stress is like exercise, where we're putting stress on our bodies, but it's good for us. But I'm mainly talking about negative stress, which can come from having an overly scheduled, overly busy life of too many demanding things going on. And that's difficult, especially here in the States, when there's that pressure to go, to perform, to succeed, to meet all these goals, to get so many things done and produce so many things. And so I just encourage you to manage your stress level as best you can, so that way we're not walking around feeling anxious all the time or stressed out or just burnt out. And so there's many ways to do this, and it's going to depend, from person to person how you like to do that. But I encourage you to schedule time that's just for you. Schedule time where you're doing something you enjoy, something that is fun, whether it's taking a walk, whether it's going out in nature, spending time with friends, or if you're more introverted, spending time alone to recharge your battery. It could be anything, spiritual practices, anything that we enjoy. And remember to laugh and have fun. When we're laughing, we're releasing all these positive chemicals in our brains that are like natural antidepressants. And sadly, sometimes we don't get enough of that. So we just want to make sure that we're taking time to say no sometimes when we're being asked to do something, or maybe being okay not checking as many things off our to-do list as we would like. And another great way to manage our stress level is by exercise, which is my next recommendation. Probably another no-brainer. We know we need to exercise to release stress. It releases those stress toxins in our bodies and leaves us feeling more relaxed, less anxious, less depressed, because it produces those natural endorphins and feel-good chemicals in our brains. And again, I'm not saying you need to be able to run a marathon. I can't run a marathon. But just do something you enjoy, whether it's taking a walk, going for a run, a team sport, whatever it is, as long as you're getting your blood pumping, your heart rate up, and we're working on strengthening our muscles and stretching well afterwards. And then finally, I recommend being fully present. And this one might be the trickiest one of all. because there's so many things clawing at our attention. We're always connected to phones or computers, television, music, you name it. And so it leaves us with a lot of distractions, and it makes it difficult to stay fully focused on one thing at a time and whatever it is that we're doing. And plus, our minds tend to go either towards the future, which is imaginary, and we're thinking about what we should be doing or what we could be doing, or it goes to the past, which is over with, and we really can't do anything about it to change. And so a really great way to stay focused on the present moment is to focus on what you're experiencing with your 5 senses. So what are you hearing, seeing, taste, touch, smell, all of them. And what that does is it helps us really focus. It keeps us in the here and now. So we're not going to the future or our to-do list. I mean, think about it. How many times when we're listening to someone, are we only really half listening? We're thinking about what we want to say next, or what we have to do next, or phone calls we have to return, or deadlines. How about food? When is the last time you actually tasted your food? So much of the time we are eating while we're working, we're eating in the car while we're on the go, and we're just inhaling it. So I encourage you to eat more slowly, take time to taste your food, unplug if you can, and stay fully focused in each moment. And what I find when I do that is I'm happier, I'm less stressed out, I have better quality of relationships, and I really think that overall when we do this more, which takes practice, we have a higher quality of living. And so I don't say these recommendations to stress you out or make you feel bad if you're not doing them. Try just doing one thing differently. What is one thing you could do this week to take better care of yourself? And schedule it in, because it's so often too easily that it gets shoved to the wayside because other responsibilities creep in. And then we're left just feeling exhausted and stressed out. And also when we're not taking care of ourselves, not only do we feel stressed out, but it can lead to bigger problems like anxiety and depression, to more serious ones like eating disorders and addictions and things of that nature, and strained relationships. So really, even though it seems like we don't have the time, it really is so much better for us to make the time for this now to really prevent having to make time for more serious problems in the future. So thank you so much for watching. Oh, and I also encourage you to tell someone if you decide to make a change, so that way they can hold you accountable. Because sometimes for some of us, some of these things are easy and some of them not so much. So it's nice to have an accountability partner who can keep you on track. So please leave me a comment with what you think, what you're trying to work on to become more healthy and take better care of yourself, or your New Year's resolutions. And if you're interested in more videos, you can subscribe to my channel, or you can check out my blog, which is somethingtoconsiderblog.com. Thanks for watching.